Luke, congratulations. The defence has begun. I think it's fair to say never really got out of a second gear there. It was a strangest game. How would you sum it up?
Yeah, it was basically how you said it to me. I don't think anybody's really played well tonight. Um, it's just one of the things that you're adjusting. It's like 3 a.m. English time, and I'm usually asleep by now. So it's something that I can't go tonight. I'll give myself a few more hours before I can go to sleep just to adjust to tomorrow. So if you're going to be here tomorrow, you're going to have to be here later. So yeah, no one's really played great tonight. I don't think they usually do in the first game, but tomorrow, well, as we all know, is going to be a completely different scenario.
Well, on that, for you Seeds, is it all about just getting through to the final day, no matter how you do it?
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you win with 110 average or you win with a an 88 average, and you don't place so great. As long as you're through, that's all that matters because you put yourself in that position tomorrow to come back and to be able to put it right. So yeah, it's not been the best day for us as players, but yeah, we're back tomorrow, and hopefully the real darts will come through.
We know you're one that likes to practice and put a lot of time in, but I'm guessing since the World Cup, you haven't picked them up too much.
No, to be honest, I haven't. I had a couple of, when it's been so busy, you kind of need a little bit of time off it. And yeah, maybe I'm a little bit guilty of in the last sort of 8 to 9 days since that World Cup. I probably haven't practiced very much, and especially I haven't practiced this is the first day I've practiced today for the last 4 or 5 days. So I'm someone that likes to keep myself busy and keep my throw ticking through. So yeah, maybe I'm a little bit guilty over the last 8 to 9 days. I probably haven't put as much effort as I should. And after today, I think I need to keep on it a little bit more.
Some atmosphere downstairs in the garden. Did you enjoy that atmosphere that was generated from the fans?
Yeah, I feel like it gets better and better every year. I remember when I first came here 3 or 4 years ago, and the atmosphere was a little bit more stale. It was a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more, just enjoying watching the action rather than so much atmosphere. Now, like I remember last year, it was insane. It was the best I'd ever experienced, and then again, it was amazing out there. So I think that it's just growing and growing and just selling out all the time. And I think that hopefully in the future, in the next maybe 1, 2, 3 years, we can go into the actual big arena in MSG and really, ignite and show America and American darts what it's all about.
Congratulations, mate.
Thank you very much.
Luke, congratulations on your win tonight.
Thank you.
Now you're considered an ESPN athlete. On ESPN.
Great news.
How does it feel that we were excited about Peacock last year, right? Now we're even on ESPN. How the growth just that way?
Yeah, it's a massive growth, and it's always it's Coops to Matchroom for putting it up there with the likes of ESPN as well, because obviously without them, obviously we put on a good show, but it's up to them to go on and prove to the likes of ESPN that we're worthy to be on their channels. And as a a massive fan of all sports, it's kind of an amazing achievement for us as players to be on ESPN. So yeah, it's amazing, and I'm hope that over the next sort of 6, 7 months that the people that do tune in and watch us really enjoy the sport. It grows it even just 10, 15% every year. And, you see that big boom in America is what we want.
You said it seems like it gets better every year. Well, this is the first time we've been sold out on night one.
Yeah.
So the crowd level, was it bigger than you expected it to be on night one?
Honestly, I know the World Cup of football's here, so that was always going to have a big boom with, obviously a lot of football fans and, there was a lot of football fans that enjoyed darts and football. But I think taking them away if the World Cup won, I still think this would have sold out, to be fair. The atmosphere is always great. Last year there wasn't a World Cup here and the fans were amazing and the atmosphere was great. So it's not like just because there's a few World Cup fans here as well, it's just a little bit better. It's a big boom and I think people are enjoying watching darts and you get recognized in the street and stuff, and it's very, very rare because you in America you don't really think you're going to get recognized. So you see that little bit extra every year, and it's kind of really good to see.
It's a little bit relaxing to walk around like New York City, knowing that you're for the most part not going to get recognized like you would in the UK.
Yeah, of course. If you do get recognized, it's not a problem as well. But yeah, it's nice because I love the city. I think it's one of my well, I don't think I know it's one of my favorite cities. I just love the busyness of it. The food here is amazing. The people are crazy and they love doing random things, but that's all part of it. And for me, this is one of the best cities in the world, and I enjoy being in.
What would it mean to you to defend this title at MSG this year?
Yeah, like I said last year, winning this title was the biggest one on the World Series because it's we play in some really great arenas, but this is the most iconic arena we play in as a whole. Of all the arenas we play in, throughout the year, we play in Ali Pali, we play in at Winter Gardens. But this is not just the most iconic, one of the most iconic venues in America. It's one of the most iconic venues in the world. So for us as players, it's quite kind of surreal. And my fourth year, but I still feel surreal that I get to perform here, and you know, to retain the title would be very, very special. But yeah, I'm hoping in the future that we can go to the big arena, because that would be the goal for us all as players, to really, show our talent in an arena full of, tens of thousands of American fans.
Cheers. Cheers on the win today.
Thank you very much.
Luke, congrats on the win. With the match play coming up, or really with any major, when there's one or two events before it's a Pro Tour or World Series like today, when you have the chance to play players you might run into late in the later stages of the tournament at that major, is your mentality change kind of knowing that you might run into them in a couple weeks?
To be honest, no. I think these are tournaments that we're kind of used to and we play a lot of. Usually you're playing about 6 to 8 World Series events a year, and they're always the top 8 players in the world. So you kind of playing them 8 times a year, regardless, most of the time. And then obviously Premier League is top 8 in the world, so you're playing all them like 4 to 8 times a year again. So anything that pops up, it's different scenarios. Premier Leagues in the World Series are always like an exhibition thing. When you're playing in the ranking majors and stuff, where it means incredibly more. Playing best of 31, like you would be in the match play for the semis and finals, then it's really tough because you've got to be at your best the whole way through. And that's when it is harder, because anybody can win a best of 11 as a top pro. When it's best of 31, then it really does take a top game to beat the opponent. So these are just warm-up games for us, but obviously this is not just a warm-up. We're really excited to be here every year. And we all take it serious because we all want to win this. It's a prestigious tournament to win, and every tournament you play on the big stage is prestigious because you want to be winning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last couple from you, Connor, please.
Hi, Luke. Thanks for your time. You kind of touched on it, how much you love New York City, but it's also the place where you got engaged. And I know that you're with Kaylee out there as well. Is that even more special that this place is a permanent place in your heart now?
Yeah, definitely. It's got a special place in my heart for that reason. Of course, for last year, it was so nice to win here as well. I think that topped it off a little bit. I had that great memory the year before, and then going on and winning last year. Yeah, it was really, really special. Kaylee is a massive fan of New York City as well. So that's why she loves coming. But I do love it. I just love the fast, action-packed city and the food and just everything that brings it. It's a different life. It's a different world over here, and it's nice to just experience it for 5, 6 days. And yeah, that's why I'm so happy that this is always on the calendar.
It's quite amusing. I think the reasons why you love New York is the same reason why Luke Littler said that he hated New York. It was far too busy for him.
Yeah, but he stays in his room, and I I go out and have fun.
I guess that's being a teenager, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
true.
speaking of Luke, you two were on ITV's coverage of the World Cup, and I mean the World Cup is the most watched thing, in the world, and it always will be. How massive is that, and how much does that show where darts has come? That England's World Cup champions in darts are now being invited to the Football World Cup.
Yeah, it's a great position to be in for the sport, because when you're getting invited to things like that, it's kind of surreal. And when we're there, we play it cool, and it's like this is where we should be. But yeah, it's kind of surreal because you're sort of looking over, and there's amazing people, Patrick Vieira and Ian Wright, all these superstars of the footballing world, and they're like Ian Wright was like shouting my Luke's name out, like shouting Luke's. He kind of knows all about it and about us, and it's kind of surreal. And yeah, it's really, really good that we get to go on there and show a little bit about what we do, and talk a little bit about what we do. And yeah, we kind of showed it a little bit, but I think Laura Woods stole the show in the end with the great Oche180. But it is great that we get to do these crazy things that probably would never have dreamed of 5 years ago, and it just shows where the sport is right now.
And we're not far off the World Match Play now. I remember last year you said that leading up to the World Match Play, you maybe didn't get the preparation right. Maybe it was a little bit too lethargic. Obviously, coming off the Premier League and the World Series, it takes a lot out of you. Are you going to prepare differently to try to make sure that you are on tip-top form to try and regain that title?
Yeah, I thought I got it all wrong last year. I can't remember what I did, but I remember not practicing very much. I kind of I think I remember just not practicing very much and taking it all for granted a little bit, and I think I fell away a little bit, and I was not playing so good for a few months. And it took me a long time to get back into it again. So, of course, you learn on that experience, and I make sure that in the run up to that, I won't be slacking on the practice. I'm not slacked on the practice over the last 8 or 9 days, but I just haven't put the effort in that I probably should have. We're all guilty of it. Sometimes you don't, and then you come here and you don't play as good and you regret it. So yeah, I needed a little bit of break, but maybe I took a couple of days too extra. And obviously when it comes to the match play, obviously I learned my lesson from last year. The 1 or 2 weeks before with the running, I make sure that there is no days off. I'm on the board practicing, dedicating, because if you want to win these titles and be world match play champion again, you got to put the effort in, because if you don't, then you won't win them.
Cheers, Luke. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, mate.